in open session. All right, department update.
Thank you, staff, guests, and those of you watching at home. Thank you, board members. You have a copy of the department update that provided to you for your review. One of the things that's not noted on the department update that I think is extremely significant is we have had a financial compliance review during the middle of April. The auditors, I had the opportunity to meet with them, and they were extremely complimentary of our finance officer and our finance department. In fact, they said their budgeting and oversight was exceptional.
Woo woo. All right, superintendent update and comments.
Highlights for the month of April. This is a busy time of year as we prepare to finalize this school year. I do want to thank Christy King and Laura Parks. The Jones County Public Schools Special Olympics was an outstanding event. Many families, many staff, and the weather was perfect. Last week, senior walks took place at each of the elementary schools. Our Jones Senior High School seniors had the opportunity to visit where they grew up and also meet some of their former teachers. I know it's a blessing for the kids and also many of our staff. Student tours. We've provided our upcoming sixth graders the opportunity to visit Jones Senior High School. Next year's sixth grade class is around 71 students, which is not bad. And we want to make sure they had the opportunity to meet the staff and see the building prior to entry on their first day. Finally, in regard to highlights, I really want to thank the Jones County Historical Society. During the America 250 committee meetings, they provided the opportunity for a teacher at each school site to attend training in regard to the Declaration of Independence, to be each school site's representative going into the birthday of America next school year. Thank you, Charlie Jones, who is the president, and thank you to the members of the committee. Looking ahead, this week on Friday, Representative Chris Humphrey will be visiting Comfort Elementary School. This is a great opportunity. Mr. Humphrey has not visited Comfort Elementary School. He had been to Jones Senior and Trenton Elementary at many occasions, but I requested the opportunity for him to visit one of our outlying elementary schools, and he agreed to it. He's excited about it. EOG testing begins the week of May 12th. Which is right around the corner. In fact, it's a week from today. Our end of year banquet is May 30th at 9:30 a.m. in the Harry Brown Gymnatorium. We just ask that each of you board members are there. It's a great opportunity to celebrate our staff. Graduation will be June 7th at 10 a.m. and it'll also be in the Harry Brown Gymnatorium.
Watson, question.
The senior walk.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's all a good deal, but I really like that going back to where they went to school. Because time goes real fast, and they can go back and see the teachers, and teachers see them, and the little ones see that. That's a big deal. Thank you.
Mr. Griffin. You don't have anything. SBL?
No.
Ms. Burke?
Thank you, Miss Raby.
Yes.
We're proud to have you. Thank you for all you do. That's all I have.
Graduation date again.
June 7th.
All right, action item A, spring 25 PLS update, second reading.
Members of the board, Mr. Chairman, you have a copy in your packet there. So this is just a second reading. Go ahead and entertain any questions or comments you have.
Mr. Watson, anything?
No, sure.
Mr. Griffin? No. SBL?
No.
Ms. Burke?
I'm just still looking at it. I couldn't quite understand part of it. I'll get with you later.
Timeline.
Title IX
Title
is,
IX.
I will say,
Is that the
Mr.
one big? Yeah.
Mr. Parker and I went to the bank conference last week, and an attorney speak with us about Title IX and how it's basically is reverting, correct me if I'm wrong, back to 2020, what Title IX was then. It's just kind of reverted back to that. And so there's been a lot of change in policies that, that had come about and most recently, so.
And for the restrooms and such, that was my thing too, as far as the restrooms. Is it birth certificate? Am I correct? Is it went back or is that back to?
It's whatever it was in 2020. I couldn't,
It's just,
So,
I don't know what to say.
Mr. Whittington is right. As y'all might recall, there was a rule change to Title IX in about April of last year, and then the School Board Association proposed new board policies to conform with that rule change. In January, a federal court judge struck down that rule change. So the 2024 regs that there was much consternation and debate about last summer that prompted your board and every board in the state to do something and take action has been kind of rescinded. So the School Board Association has recommended that everybody go back to their pre-2024 framework for processing complaints under Title IX. There has been no change with respect to the regulations regarding what's governing law in North Carolina with respect to transgender students' use of restrooms. Governing authority on that is from the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, which decided the Gavin Grimm case several years ago. So in my view, the policy flip from one process to another does not impact anything with respect to transgender students' rights.
Motion.
Hold on, I got a question. Bullying and the bullying and harassing part. Right quick, like, can you really quick tell me what the change is on that? I mean, I'm guessing.
Under 1720,
Yes, ma'am. This is,
it's actually.
1735. Is that a drastic change from what we were doing now? I think it's three different numbers on this thing. It's on page 4.
so I think the changes are all prompted just by this federal judge eliminating the Title IX rule that was passed last year, the regulatory rule. So I don't think it's changing anything with respect to your definitions of what constitutes bullying and harassing behavior.
Okay. So we would read it the same.
In terms of how you define bullying, harassing behavior, yes.
Okay.
In very brief terms, the 2024 rule expanded the scope of what constitutes a violation of Title IX. Not what constitutes a violation of your board-specific discrimination, harassment, bullying policies, how you all have the authority to define those, but the ambit of what runs afoul of Title IX. The regulations now are back to 2020. So we're back to a narrow definition of what constitutes sexual harassment under Title IX and the requirement that school systems follow a pretty lengthy process for investigating formal complaints of violations of Title IX.
So the bullying and harassing part is still under the Title IX part. Is this what?
No, so you still have a bullying harassing policy and then you've got a Title IX policy and procedure.
Okay.
And those are distinct processes as they were before summer of 2024.
Okay. We're not lightning. I don't know how my fellow board members feel, but one of the number one subjects that I get confronted with is bullying and harassing.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure we're not being softer on that. Mainly is what I'm trying to get an understanding.
I do
of.
not believe any of these changes soften or alter the board's definitions of and prohibition on discrimination, harassment, and bullying.
Okay.
I think what generally these changes mean is kind of under what process those concerns would be addressed, whether it's through the Title IX process or through your bullying, harassment, and discrimination or due process. Yes.
I got you. Thank you, Laura. Thank you. I'm good.
Motion.
Make a motion.
Got a motion? Second. Got a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Budget amendment number 8.
It's ready. Ready.
Oh,
Good evening, everyone. Budget Amendment A is being submitted to request approval of additional increases in funding that we received in both our state funding and our federal funding. For our state funding, we received an increase in two areas after the normal reevaluation process that happens at DPI, usually in the months of February and March. So once they reviewed all of our student numbers, all of the data that our transportation department submits to them on a regular basis, we were awarded additional funds for our EC program, and we were awarded additional funds for our transportation department. A small number for transportation, but a significant number for our EC department. So those changes resulted in a net effect of us receiving an additional $20,000 in our state funding. And then for our federal funding, we received $2643 in additional funding, and those are just small allocations in two areas for our PRC 118 and PRC 119 grants, which also are applicable to our special ed population. Those are the only changes that we have at this time. If anyone has any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Ms. Bird, any questions? Ms. Fields?
no, the only one that just really stands out to me is the child nutrition. Are we still waiting on money for that?
We
That's a big
have,
sum.
child nutrition right now is undergoing a transition from Meals Plus to Titan within Link. And since December, she has not been able to record in the ledger her revenues for those areas. So we are working with Link to figure out how to pull that information over. Once she pulls that information over, her budget will be in line with what we anticipated for the year.
That just caught my eye. That,
Yes.
That's only red, only got a couple, two
Yes, ma'am.
reds on here, and then that.
She has
Where?
received the funding, it's just not pulling over into the system the way it used to pull
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, no problem.
Anything else?
You good?
Yeah.
Mr. Walker?
I'm all right, thank you.
I got you. Motion.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Public comment.
No one signed up, Mr. Chairman.
Board comment. Mr. Walker.
Appreciate all the work that goes into the end of the school year. I don't even know, I'm sure, but I've heard, and we appreciate it. It'll be over soon. Hang in there. Appreciate everybody. Please pass the word down that we really, really appreciate staff. They told us at the conference up in Greensboro, it's been a year or so, a couple years back, that teachers were not pushing the teaching profession the way that they were at one time. We all know that. And it's not as easy as it used to be, and it wasn't easy when it used to be. So please tell our people we certainly appreciate their 9 hours on site and more hours off site. Thank you.
Mr. Griffin.
No, heard it.
Ms. Fields.
Yeah, I just appreciate, like, to reiterate what he said, appreciate all the hard work that's going into this time of year. And it's a non-stop process. for me.
Ms. Bird.
I just want to thank everyone for the invitations, for the banquets, for the award ceremonies, for the graduations. These events I really look forward to because you get to see the progress of the student and the teachers taking pride in those students. So I do try to attend those, and I really enjoyed attending the Special Olympics. I couldn't stay the whole time, but it was a delight to see the high school students there running each little category. And I told some of them, I said, you know, you're getting out of class today. It's pretty great, wasn't it? Yeah. But you're getting so much more than that, think about it. And they knew this. So it was a delight to see that. The FFA raffle, of course, is a big thing in Jones County. And it's something that everybody looks forward to. Cause there's not a lot of events in Dutch County. So kudos to them for carrying that tradition on. And, I look forward to seeing all the kids soon.
We should go into closed session.
So move.
Pursuant to general statute what?
143. I kind of drop off from there. Kind of drop off at 143.
18A, 11A, 85, 86, disclosure to confidential personnel information pursuant to general statute 115C 23 and 115C 42. And what was that other? Verbal. And this is up with the board
Thank you for
attorney
coming,
reserve the
Ms.
client,
Dawn.
attorney client privilege pursuant to 143, 318C 11, 8, and 3. Got a motion and a second?
Yes. Yeah.
All in favor?
Oh. Who first, who second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Back in closed session.
Obviously.
Mark,
Thank you, Ms. Reagan.
That's it, bro.
Mark, I remember